Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your humbled host, Saved by Children TV, back at it for a brand new video. Today I have 6 stories for you guys. But before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications, and your bell so you be notified every single time I drop a brand new video. Also subscribe to my Crying Time channel and also subscribe to my reaction channel, Child's Reactions, so you'll be notified every single time I drop a brand new video. I have 4 updates. Number one, I just created a second Instagram, and that Instagram channel is going to be my challenge video. So I'm gonna be on that channel um doing challenges. So it's gonna be called Child Challenges. So go over there now and go on that Instagram and follow me over there. Follow me on my first Instagram at Charles Parker. Go over there and find me on that account too. Also, I will be dropping merch this coming up end of October to November. So please make sure you are notified so you get the message. I will be dropping shirts and my own decorative shirts. I will be buying the shirts in the store and decorating them and selling them. And also, I just ordered a Cash App card in the mail. So I will be dropping my Cash App um, down in the comment section below in 3 weeks from now. So be prepared. I'm gonna be dropping that down below. Um, and our first story takes us to Wilford, South Carolina. So Wilford, South Carolina takes that L. And we're gonna be talking about these 4 monsters right here. Their names are Ian Tataro, Iantatro, Tanika Draper, Tenikadraper, Trina Draper, Trinadraper, and Ryan Dezotto, Randezotelle. The Spartanburg, we're going to be talking about an 8-year-old who was abused in South Carolina by these 4 adults who were their step parents and father, I believe. The Stanbury County Sheriff's Office arrested 4 adults on child abuse charges after a doctor said a young girl's injuries met the criteria for a medical diagnosis of child torture. According to the Sheriff's Office, on September the 2nd, deputies responded to Westons Road to assist the Department of Social Services DSS with a detailed child abuse allegation that the agency had received from an anonymous source. Deputies say upon arrival, they were informed by a caseworker that DSS had come out to the home several occasions to investigate, but the 4 adults at the home had hidden the victim and an 8-year-old girl. 4 children of various ages were found in the home, but the girl had a noticeable limp and temporary tattoos covering multiple visible bruises on both legs, deputies said. The 4 adults were identified as the girl's father, 25-year-old Ian Tatro, 24-year-old Tanika Draper, 37-year-old Trina Ray Draper, and 28-year-old Ryan Dizzle, who are all recently moved to Spartanburg County from Vermont. Tanika Draper admitted to putting makeup on the victim's leg to cover up the bruising once DSS started coming to the house. During a bond hearing on Friday, the solicitor's office said multiple family members made the cat make okay. During a bond hearing on Friday, the solicitor's office said multiple family members made the girl eat cat feces and cat food. The child had scars on her knees from kneeling in a Crate and was beaten with boards, cords, and a frying pan, according to the solicitor's office. The solicitor's office said the victim's father gave her laxatives and made her wear pull-ups. He reportedly told the child he wished he could kill her and get away with it. A spokesperson for the solicitor's office said the victim told investigators when she was rescued, "This is the best day of my life." Quotations. The sheriff's office said all four children were placed into emergency protective custody with DSS, and the victim was taken to the hospital and admitted due to the extent of abusing and blood loss concerns. She spent 2 days in the hospital after she was removed from the home. Deputies said medical personnel and one of the investigators spoke with the victim at the hospital where more detailed information was discovered. It was also discovered after the evaluation of a forensic doctor that the 8-year-old girl met the criteria for a medical diagnosis of child torture. A search warrant was also executed at the house, which led to the discovery of more evidence that further corroborated with the victim's disclosure. The four suspects are charged with the following. Tetro is charged with 13 counts of unlawful neglect. Tetro is charged with 13 counts of unlawful neglect of a child and 2 counts of obstruction. His bond was set at $90,000. Tanika Draper is charged with 11 counts of unlawful neglect of a child and 3 counts of obstruction. Her bond was set at $98,000. Trina Draper is charged with 5 counts of cruelty to children, 3 counts of obstruction, and 1 count of assault and battery. Her bond was set at $23,000. DeSoto is charged with 3 counts of cruelty to children, 3 counts of assault and battery, and 2 counts of obstruction. His bond was set at $24,000. During bond hearings on Friday, a judge said none of the suspects can return to the home where the abuse occurred or have contact with any of the children. They are all placed on GPS monitoring and will be on home detention if they bond out of jail. Okay, to be honest, I'm going to tell you why the system is broken. The system is broken because we're giving 4 dangerous people who abused an 8-year child a bond. Like, you know, that's not the smart thing to do. Because if they willing to abuse children, what else are they willing to do? You know what I'm saying? We're giving, we're giving 4 people access to bond out of jail and possibility commit the same offense. Is they would have no bond if it was up to me. Because why would they need to be with bond? And why, you know what I'm saying? It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Here is the news article. Give me a second.
Child torture. That's what investigators are now calling an abuse case right here in the upstate. Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office arrested these 4 family members. They're accused of abusing an 8-year-old girl.
And here's another look at the suspects. Tanika Draper, the victim's stepmother. Ian Tatro, the victim's father. Trina Draper, the victim's step-grandmother. And Ryan Desatel, the victim's step-uncle. They all face multiple charges related to child abuse. They appeared in bond court this afternoon. At Fox Carolina's Brooklyn Cuomo.
Okay. Now, all our step parents. You got step mom, you got the father, you got step grandparent, step aunt. I would like to know where the biological mother is at in this case. Where was the biological mother at when all this abuse was going on? You know what I'm saying? And what I'm starting to think is that this was a single father, and the mother was probably never in his child's life. So the single father raised this child with the step parents in the picture. This is why it's important to have both parents in your children's lives, because you have people out here who are related to your children or related to you, and have every opportunity when they get mad to abuse your children. It's really important that parents are involved in your children's lives. It's very important. You know what I'm saying? Um, in my opinion, these parents, this father, and stepmom and stepmom, step grandmother never loved this child. You know, I'm curious of what other abuse took place in this house. You know what I'm saying? You know, these people should be in prison for the rest of their life. They should never been able to even make bond. And the fact that they was able to get bond after they just abused this 8-year-old innocent child who did not ask to be here, number one. And number two, to think that, you know, it's okay to do what they did, and beating a child, doing that, first of all, that it is against the law, and what the penalty is for child abuse. It's a high cost. Abusing a child is just not a misdemeanor. It's a felony in most states and in most cities. You gotta be careful, you know how you handle a child, and abuse is not one of them. Number one, you should have been parents, right? You should have raised this child as a human being, and not raise this child just for the benefits. And you know, Judgment Day will come for all four involved. And the father if guilty, is facing 150 years in prison. That should go for all four defendants, 150 years if found guilty. Child abuse should not be taken lightly. It should not be taken as a joke. It is serious. It's against the law, and you will pay a higher penalty for abusing innocent children. Like I'm saying. We're going to be on our second story. Please keep this child and all the other children who was under that home in your prayers. It's a sad situation, but this is the world we live in. Like, comment, subscribe. You're on story 2 out of 6. 2 out of 6. Look for it. Video. Just after 6 days ago in Mississippi, daycare. By the way, this is on TikTok. Okay. That was on the news. Let's talk about it. Mississippi daycare worker plus 3 other employees, which are all of us females, were fired for the one female daycare worker was fired for wearing that mask, that scream mask, and basically scaring the children, making them cry, chasing them in the room, picking them up, brushed the video out several times. Secondly, 3 other employees were fired. one for filming and standing by, and another two for also standing by and not doing anything. Now, this is the thing. The crazy part about this story, it was four white females daycare workers involved in this, and all four have been fired. Now, ask me this question. If this story took time and it was four black men was involved in this, they would have been fired and arrested. They would have considered it child abuse. Um, you know, it was child abuse. When you put on a mask and chase children in a daycare center with a mask on, scaring children, it's child abuse. Your job is to watch people's children and be a role model for children. You ain't do that, and nobody else did that either. Instead, you had adults behaving poorly, picking up cameras, and recording bad behavior. And then to top it off, the woman who wore the mask makes an apology video, crying, talking about how sorry she is, making an apology video. But guess what? Your apology means nothing. It means nothing. You're sorry you got caught. Imagine what trauma and PTSD. Think about what trauma and PTSD you left on the children. Those children are forever scarred and will forever have nightmares and will forever won't be the same again. They will need to be in therapy. These children were between the ages of 1 to 3. You know, it's a boundary. And you step over the boundary, there's consequences. And I urge the parents of the children, I urge you to get yourself a lawyer and file a lawsuit against that daycare facility and that them daycare workers for standing by and not doing their job and not protecting them children. And for the one who put the mask on, scaring the children. You have some people saying it was a misdemeanor. You have others saying it's a felony. You know, this is a felony, and I'm gonna tell you why. Why this is a felony. Anytime abuse or neglect or any crime is committed on a workplace, it's a felony. Those women were there to do a job, but yet they came to work, made a fool out of themselves by recording a video of a so-called daycare worker who put on a mask and traumatized children. Then, when we get fired, we gonna make videos talking about how sorry we are. Yeah, you sorry you got caught, and you sorry that you can't do this to other children. You can do this to the next generation. And you're sorry that you can't do this to the other children. You know what I'm saying? Background checks are important. And I'm pretty sure in Mississippi, that daycare facility in Mississippi, where they did a background check, I'm pretty sure they probably would have knew. They probably would have known what type of person she is. I would have never hired somebody like that. And I'm pretty sure this is not the first time they did this to the children. It's not the first time they did this to these children. It's the first time they got caught because it was recorded, but I'm pretty sure it's not the first time that this happened to these children. The adults, the adults, and you doing this to people's children. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have some level of respect, especially when you're handling other people's children. You can't just do this and think that you was gonna get away with it or get suspended. No, you got fired. You committed. First of all, you committed a felony at your own workplace. First of all. Second of all, you don't know what type of trauma that them children have for a long time. These are young children, very young children. And children have trauma from a certain age to their adult years when they go through something traumatic or experiencing something traumatic. So, you have parents need to come with a lawsuit. I'll be suing heavily, heavily, heavily. Should be going to court with a lawsuit because what type of person you are. And I'm pretty sure Mississippi laws are high in standard. And the fact that we record everything for social media, do you think you're going to laugh out of it? No. You played yourself. You lost your job, and rightfully so, and everybody involved lost their job. Like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, hit that thumbs up. We're on story 3 out of 6. Yet again, we're talking about another daycare story, believe it or not. Houston, Texas takes an L. Exclusive. Toddler, a 3-year-old toddler, suffers a broken femur bone at Houston daycare. Father says staff member is to blame. James Walker is the owner of Walker's Daycare Center located on Livingston Street in the Sunnyside community of Houston. On Thursday, the father of 3-year-old Janaya Guzman said she suffered a broken femur bone while she was at the location. Fox 26 Gabby Hart confronted the owner in front of his establishment and asked what happened. I don't know, and I have no comment, Walker said. Raymond Jones is Jania's father and sole caregiver. He says he goes to work just so he's able to spur his little girl with bikes and toys, but she's now unable to play with them because of her broken leg. Jones says she hasn't gotten any answers about what happened to his daughter from the daycare, but he says Jania told him Ashley hit her and Ashley is a staff member at the daycare. They act like they don't know anything. You get 100 people on there, and for that kind of damage to happen to this child, you will heard anything, and nobody is saying anything, Jones said. According to Jones, Jones says when he picked his daughter up, he saw the knot on her leg. He rushed her to the hospital, and that's when X-rays revealed her femur bone had been snapped in half. The bone is broken in half, not just cracked, broken, Jones said. Fox 26 continued to press the daycare's owner for some sort of answer. We are crying and everything else. We've been here 40 years in the same neighborhood. Everything is going to be taken care of. We have no comments and we have a lawyer that you can talk to, Walker said. Jones says that is traumatized and now he wants justice and a better answer about what happened. Jones says his daughter is traumatized and now he wants Jones says his daughter is traumatized and now he wants justice and a better answer about what happened, other than, I don't know. It's been hard for me. I started crying. It's a hard thing. I've been taking care of her since she was a baby. That's all. I do is care for my daughter, he said. The Houston Police Department confirmed that it's an active investigation into this incident and the Crimes Against Children Risk Abuse Unit is handling it. In the meantime, Jones says he plans to take legal action. So here is the video.
Now to a story that you'll see only here on Fox. A 3-year-old girl with a broken leg, and her father says he believes a staff member at her Houston daycare is to blame. Fox 26's Gabby Hart tonight joining us live from that center in the Sunnyside community. So, Gabby, I know you spoke exclusively with that child's father today.
I did. That father says when he came to pick his daughter up from this daycare right here behind me, she was trembling with pain and unable to walk. He says he's not been able to get any answers from this daycare about what happened to her. So we came here today to help get him some answers ourselves. You own the place. So you said that you're the owner. Do you know about the little girl who broke her leg here on Thursday? How did she break her leg?
I don't know. And I no comment.
James Walker is the owner of Walker's Daycare Center, located on Livingston Street in the Sunnyside community of Houston. That's where 3-year-old Janiyah Guzman's father says she suffered a broken leg. What did they say happened? Like, what is the...
They act like they don't know nothing. Like you got 100 people in there, and for something like that kind of damage to happen to their child, you in another room, you would have heard something.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody saying nothing.
Raymond Jones is Janiyah's dad and sole caregiver. He says he goes to work just so he's able to spoil his little girl with bikes and toys that she's now unable to play with because of her broken leg.
And I'm not going to make any comments.
We have a 3-year-old little girl who has a broken femur bone, and the daycare...
hospital, and we're doing what we can for her.
Jones says when he picked his daughter up and saw the knot on her leg, he rushed her to the hospital. And that's when x-rays revealed that her femur bone had been snapped in half.
This bone right here broken in half. Not just cracked, broken. CPS came and asked her what happened. She said, Ashley hit me.
And who is Ashley?
That's one of the workers that somebody worked there. No, we have no comments.
But as the owner, can you see how as the owner of a daycare facility?
Friend and everything else, we've been here for over 40 years. We've been in the same neighborhood. Everything's going to be taken care of.
Did a staff member injure that little girl?
Everything's going to be taken care of. We have no comments, and we will have a lawyer that you can talk to.
Jones says his daughter is traumatized. Now he wants justice and a better answer about what happened to her, and I don't know.
It's been hard for me. I started crying, man. That's a hard thing. I've been taking care of her since she was a baby. That's how I do. Look out for my daughter.
Now, we did reach out to the Houston Police Department. They confirmed that there is an active investigation into this incident. Of course, we'll stay on top of that. And in the meantime, this father says he does plan to pursue legal action against this daycare center. You can look for updates on this story right here and on Fox26Houston.com. For now, I'm reporting live. Gabby Hart, Fox 26 News.
All right. I'm sorry. This is a cover-up, okay? This man, who's, by the way, is a daycare owner, is cover up his employees. It's not a game. When a child is injured in your custody, you should want to give the parents answer to whether a child is injured. And for you to say, I'm not going to speak, And when I get an attorney, the attorney the attorney shouldn't have to give them your statement though. You should want to put out a statement. You should want to come forward and tell what happened. Because number one, your job is on the line and your employees are on the line. They can the victim family attorney can have your establishment shut down for this because there's abuse going on in a facility. So think about that. Anybody who on, a daycare facility, man, woman, teen, responsibility is responsibility. You cause an injury at a daycare facility you work at. That victim family deserve answers. But by you closing up on the media and not telling people what happened that day, well, you just as guilty because you're not speaking. We shouldn't have to. It shouldn't be a cat and mouse game. Somebody kid was injured in your facility, and I hope the victim family, take a big ass lawsuit out on this daycare because it seems like there's some fishy business going on at this daycare facility. I don't know what it is, but something is going on in this daycare facility, and I want to know. Because this could be closed down today. To the victim, 3-year-old Janiyah Guzman, that is Janiya. That's again Janiya, Janiyah Guzman, Guzman. We wish you a speedy recovery. You do not deserve. You do not deserve. You do not deserve that. You deserved way better. You were failed at this facility, and I hope that your family seek legal action against this daycare owner and this facility and everybody involved in this daycare, facility. And another thing, a last story I told, which was out of Mississippi. Please do background checks. Please. First of all, I'm sorry. I think daycare nowadays is just getting out of hand. I mean, I would just, at this point, hire a babysitter or, I'm talking about a trained and licensed babysitter. Or have a family member just babysit your child. Because at this point, daycares are getting out of hand. They're dangerous. They're becoming dangerous, if not already dangerous. They give you sob stories when accidents happen on their watch, on their premises. So it's a dangerous thing, and it's a dangerous game out here, and it's a dangerous world we live in. We shouldn't have to be scared, and we shouldn't have to be afraid to put our children in daycare. We should have expectation. We should be able to put our children in daycare, and our children should be able to come back into our custody as we put them in daycare. They shouldn't come back to us abused, beaten, with broken body parts. It's no need for that because we didn't send them to us like that. So they should come back to us as we send them to you. Like, comment, and subscribe, turn on post notifications. You'll be notified every single time I drop a brand new video. Decatur, Georgia takes an L. This man was on the screen. His name is Clonis Covert, Clunis Covert, Calvert. He was sentenced on Friday for the 2017 car crash. Excuse me. Clunis Covert, Clunis Covert, Calvert. He was sentenced on Friday for the 2017 car crash that killed a 4-month-old boy and injured his parents. On October 14, Covert pleaded guilty to driving under the influence and crashing into the Montoya's minivan on November the 14th of 2017. The Cobb County Superior Court Judge Mark Anthony Scott sentenced him to 20 years, serving 10 years in custody with the possibility of probation as recommended by the state. The crash happened on Mountain Industrial Boulevard in President's Way in DeKalb County when Covert crossed the median into the opposite driving lane and smashed into the car hit on. The collision sent Matias Montoya to Eggleston Children's Hospital, where he died 2 days later. The baby's parents sustained knee and back injuries, and 2 other passengers suffered shoulder injuries. Cole was charged with homicide by vehicle in the first degree, for cause of serious injury by vehicle and DUI per SE. I'm going to tell you a little bit about DUI. DUI, PRESE. It's a legal term meaning someone had a blood alcohol concentration over the legal limit of 0.08 grams while operating a motor vehicle. He was 21 years old at the time. I repeat, he was 21 years old at the time. Now at 26, he is headed to prison to serve his time. When are people going to stop driving drunk or driving high or driving with drugs in the vehicle or with weapons in the vehicle? You're putting other people's life in jeopardy. This guy knew he was over the limit to be driving. He didn't care. Got in the vehicle, drove the vehicle, crashed the vehicle, killed a child, injured 2 of the children's parents, injured another. Just for being stupid, I would have sentenced him to 40 to 50 years. Just for being stupid. You can't be that level of stupid. You chose to be vindictive. You chose to be that dumb and not to realize anything was going to happen. Well, when you drive intoxicated or high, bad things happen. And it could cause you to go to prison. Just like Clunis Covert. Clunis Covert chose to drive a vehicle. He knew he was impaired. And he crashed into a vehicle where he killed an infant. And to be exact, he killed a 4-month-old baby boy and injured his 2 parents and another in a vehicle, and was sentenced to 20 years in prison. And got to serve 10 years before he can be eligible for parole. You know, you can't be that level of dumb, okay? You just can't, you know. Please make better decisions, folks out there. If you have a vehicle, don't drive with drugs in your system. Don't drive with drugs in your car or weapon in your car. Because when you hear the popo's coming, the first thing you have to do is react. And when you react, you get into pursuits, and that's what could cause a deadly accident. Same as if you drive a vehicle with drugs inside your system. You speed away, you crash, hit a vehicle, someone died from injury. You're going to pay. You're going to pay. And he's going to pay 20 years of his life for killing a 4-month-old and injuring 3 others. Like, comment, subscribe. Turn your post notifications on so you'll be notified every single time I drop a brand new video. Okay. We are on story 5 out of 6. This story happened 7 days ago. And the story is out of Chicago, so Chicago takes an L. Man grabs and actually abuses an 11-year-old girl walking home from school in Chicago. The man is described as 45 to 60 years old, attacked the girl, put his hand over her mouth, and pulled her to an alley Thursday, police said. Chicago police are looking for a man who they say attacked and actually abused an 11-year-old girl last week as she walked home from school. The attack happened around 3:30 p.m. Thursday in the Washington Park neighborhood, police said in a statement. The attacker, described as a man 45 to 60 years old, grabbed the girl from behind her, his hand over her mouth, put her into an alley, and actually abused her, police said. The girl was able to break free and run away, police said. The attacker is wanted for kidnapping and aggravated actual abuse, police said. Chicago police released the sketch of the alleged offender. Community activists have offered $4,000 for information leading to an arrest. The attack involved a student at Dulles Elementary School, a K through 8th campus. A letter to parents from the school's principal said that the crime involved a member of the school community, but that for privacy reasons, further details could not be disclosed. We also want to emphasize again that we take all safety concerns very seriously. The letter read, adding that the school was working with the school district security office as well as Chicago police on additional safety measures. The school also issued an alert on social media to tell parents to pick up the children at school doors and invite students to walk in groups, stay off their phones, and be aware of their surroundings. By Monday, there had been no arrests, Chicago police said, and detectives continued to investigate. Now, if I could be just honest, let me be honest. I don't think I would allow my 11-year-old daughter or my 11-year-old son to walk home by themselves. And I'm going to tell you why. Especially in Chicago, but anywhere, because it's dangerous. It is dangerous for children to be walking alone. I'm not blaming the parents, but I think that, it's just dangerous to have children walking home alone at a certain age, especially when you're young. It's dangerous. You have predators walking streets. You have known apists, if you know what I mean, walking these streets. You have dangerous individuals walking these streets. It is dangerous. You have convicted murderers walking these streets. You have serial rapists walking the street. You have many, many other criminalities walking the streets. It's just dangerous. And whoever know who this man is needs to call CPD ASAP, because this guy needs to be picked up and brought to justice. You don't have a right, first of all, to grab any child by the mouths and start raping them in an alley. You just don't. It's wrong. And at this point, you knew better. And you abused an innocent child who couldn't defend herself. Children can't defend themselves. So you empowered yourself to abuse a child, an elementary child, which, you know what I'm saying, you know, you're really lucky that you're not in prison. And, or, you're lucky that, um, I'll say, yeah, you're lucky you're not in prison. Because if you was in prison and they found out you did this, you're gonna survive in prison. And the sad thing the sad thing about this story is that I believe it was 2 or 3 years ago. This 11-year-old child father was gunned down. So imagine if her father was still alive. This man would have been dead. I'm pretty sure of that, because no father or mother want to see the young children being taken advantage of. And I'm glad that the I'm glad that community activists are coming forward and, you know what I'm saying, coming forward and taking this case seriously. And because this was a child who couldn't defend herself. And and I hope anybody who know who did this, and I hope that you know what I'm saying, anybody who have information and saw what happened needs to come forward. $4,000 out in opening, so this is an opportunity to come forward. Let me write this down so I don't forget. What's it called? Community activist. All right. To the 11-year-old who was attacked and physically and actually abused in this case, I want to say that you know I just hope that you recover, you heal from this, get the help that you need, and that despite what happened to you, that you are strong, a warrior, a fighter, and that this was not your fault. What happened? There's a lot of bad people who walk among this earth, and that this guy took advantage of you. Because again, you know, this was trauma that you had to face, and that this guy sooner or later will get caught and he will be brought to justice. And I want to shout out the community activists and community leaders for offering $4,000 for a reward that leads to an arrest, because this is a serious case. It's very serious when a child is victimized, okay, and abused, actually. You know what I'm saying? It's the community activists and the community leaders and people like me and people like other YouTubers and to speak up about this type of situations so we can all make a change to the communities, because we should want to make a change. A change is going to come. Like, comment, subscribe, turn post notifications on. Be notified. I got one more stories for you guys. And this story happened literally not that long ago. It just dropped. So let's talk about it. This story happened, let's see, Tomball, Texas takes an L. Back in Texas. Now, this story happened today. Okay, this story happened today, and $15 million bond. $15 million bond is set for mom who was charged with capital murder and 5-year-old daughter's stabbing. Tomball, Texas. Gruesome new details are revealed after a woman who authorities said admitted to killing her 5-year-old daughter over the weekend was charged with capital murder. The woman told authorities her daughter was an evil child and she wanted to end the girl's life so she didn't have to deal with her any longer. On Monday morning, Harris County Sheriff's Ed Gonzalez identified the woman as 37-year-old Melissa Whitetown. She has been booked into the Harris County Jail. It was revealed in court that the 5-year-old allegedly screamed out after God as her mom tried to strangle her. Town really told officials she cut the child's throat before strangling her for 30 to 40 minutes. According to the latest update from the sheriff, Town drove to the hospital emergency room at HSA Tomball on Sunday and told employees that she had killed her daughter and that the child was inside her Jeep Cherokee. When a nurse went to the mother's vehicle and opened the door, they found the 5-year-old's body in a mesh laundry bag on the floor of the vehicle, prosecutors said in court. When they turned the girl over, they realized her throat had been cut and she had been strangled. The child was unresponsive and had a laceration and possible ligature marks on her neck, Gonzalez said. The 5-year-old was pronounced dead at 12:10 p.m. on Sunday. Gonzalez said that the town admitted to stabbing the girl to death at Spring Creek Park in Tomball. Town was scheduled to appear in probable cause court, but was reportedly still going through the booking process. Despite her absence, the woman's charges were read and gruesome new details were revealed. The initial probable cause magistrate judge set Town's bond at $15 million. She said she wanted to dispose of the clinic, so she decided to take her to a hospital. The defendant stated she wanted to end the clinic's life because she was an evil child and did not want to deal with her anymore. Prosecutors read in court. Units searched the park where the woman claimed the incident happened, but did not find any scene that pointed to the child's death, officials said. And it's unclear if there was any potential witnesses or whether the stabbing occurred, according to authorities. HCSU officials said they confirmed that the child was not killed inside the vehicle. When deputies conducted a pat-down, a knife was found in Tom's pocket, officials said. According to authorities, the woman reportedly had a history of homelessness, but the sheriff's office had not looked into the matter yet. A spokesperson with the Texas Department of Church, Family, and Protective Services released the following statement to ABC stating, Child Protective Services is investigating this tragic death alongside law enforcement. The child's mother, Melissa Tong, does have prior history with CPS, but specific details of CPS investigations are confidential according to the law. Ms. Tong has 3 additional children, ranging in ages from 2 years old to 18 years old, who are safe and have been living with other family members. And this is the woman who killed her 5-year daughter and is now charged with capital murder. She has 2 other children. And her bond, by the way, is set at $15 million. If this was a black male who committed the same offense on his 5-year daughter, he wouldn't have no bond. He would have had 0 bond and remanded to jail. She should have had no bond. I'm sorry. This is gruesome. 15 million? She would have had 15 zeros if it was up to me. You know what I'm saying? Women get a slap on the wrist committing heinous crimes nowadays. Now, number 1, this child did not ask to be here. That's first and foremost. Number 2, this mother should have never been able to procreate and have children. Because if you are going around killing your child because of a quote unquote evil, quote unquote, she was evil. I mean, something gots to be wrong with you to even slash your child's throat and stab her. You got to be some type of a monster, an evil, wicked monster. This woman deserves the death penalty. And I'm against the death penalty, but she deserves it. It was cold-blooded and it was heinous. And people like her should not be able to be on our streets again. What is his mother's name? Melissa White-Town. There's a special place in hell for you, Melissa Town White. Melissa White-Town. There's a place in hell for you for what you did. God don't like ugly. And he also don't like when women and men kill their children who did not ask to be here. But yet, you chose to be what we call a coward and a narcissist. How can you just kill your own child, your own flesh and blood, because of what you believe she is? I don't care if you believe that there was dinosaurs, so you got to cut off your left toe. It doesn't make it okay. What is wrong with people to just go and mess up somebody else's life because you and your feelings? So you go and slice your child's throat and stab your child? You need to be in a mental institution and then in a state facility for life. And let me tell you, she's facing a death penalty. This is Texas. She's facing a death penalty. She's charged with capital murder. They will seek the death penalty. I am telling you, when you kill children in Texas, the death penalty is your next demise. And look at her eyes. She looks evil. Her eyes are dilated. Just look at that blank stare in her evil face. Let me tell you what's wrong with women. Women care more about dyeing their hair, painting their toenails, painting their fingernails, putting on makeup, eyelashes, lip balm, lip gloss, piercings, tattoos, but can't care about their house up, can't take care of what's their responsibility, and vice versa, which means men who are the father should also take care of the children too. If you don't want your child, instead of killing your child, you could have, called, child protection services. You could have dropped it off maybe at a fire station, maybe with another relative, maybe, it's other options besides killing your child. When are we going to understand that killing your children are not the answer? To the 5-year-old girl that was viciously murdered by her 37-year-old evil mother, I want to say this. I want to say that I am sorry for your loss. I want to say that you do not deserve what happened to you, and that your mother is an evil person, and that your mother could have easily gave you to a relative, or took you to somewhere safe instead of committing your murder. You was murdered by someone who should have loved you, but instead took advantage of you. And let me tell you this, my channel is about advocating for our children who can't advocate for themselves against the evilness and against the people who put themselves first before their children. Again, this mother didn't care about her children or her other children. She could care less. She could have taken out a knife and killing her 5-year-old daughter. That's what she cared about. She could more about sending in jail on a capital murder offense than her own children. Come on, people. We gotta get it together. This is the end of the video. Please put your parent hands in the comment section for all the victims. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to all my channels. Let us Crime Time, Save Your Children TV, Charles Reaction. Also, like my Instagram. Go to my Instagram and add me on Instagram. Charles Parker. Also that's my first Instagram. My second Instagram that I just created was going to be spicy food challenges. So go over on that channel. And that channel's gonna be called it's gonna be called Charles Challenges. So go over there now, subscribe over there and on all my platforms so you'll be notified every time I drop a brand new video. Without further ado, peace.